Hello everyone, Sean Cassady, Vice President of Sales with Elementary Homes and Lending. In today's elementary education video, we'll be looking at rising gas prices and how or if they actually affect the real estate market. Let's get into it. As always, if you are someone who is interested in all things real estate and lending, throw a like and hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all of our latest videos. Our education series, just like today, is posted multiple times per week with great information to help you out on your journey. Now, the question we'll be answering today is, simply put, how much do rising gas prices affect the real estate market? Let's first take a look at current energy costs. Inflation was already having a serious impact on energy costs, even before the Russia-Ukraine conflict. We are now seeing even more sanctions that are restricting exportation, which then further exacerbates the problem. This is causing oil prices to soar. In fact, according to AARP, the national price for a gallon of gas, regularly unleaded gasoline, increased 17% just last month. This adds up to an additional $2,000 of additional annual fuel costs to the average household. And these cost increases are not just being felt at the pump. Companies, for example, that ship and transport goods, they've had to adjust their prices to compensate for these increases. For homeowners and renters, energy costs for heat and power are also impacted by rising fuel and oil prices. This means higher monthly bills for your average consumer. When we take a close look at our situation, we can clearly see that until oil production is increased, gas and energy prices are likely to continue to rise. Now let's look at real estate. We know that like most markets, the real estate market is driven by two things: supply and demand. Favorable mortgage rates and limited housing supply have driven demand high. Over the past year, on average, home prices have increased over 19%. Rental rates have also increased 12.6%. On the other hand, wages have been growing at a much slower rate of 4.5%. What this means is there is a lot of added pressure on the low to middle income owners. Add in the increased costs of everyday items like food, clothing, gas, and energy, we can clearly see the problem. Simply put, rising fuel and oil prices means people can afford less. And this constrains consumer spending as a whole. I am also sure that everyone is aware of the Federal Reserve's plan to increase interest rates several times in 2022 in an attempt to combat this surging inflation. This will in turn cause a likely uptick in mortgage interest rates. What this obviously means is that people have less purchasing power in the real estate market. For example, people have to buy properties for less money in order to achieve the same monthly payment they could achieve from a lower interest rate. Now let's look at the direct impact on the real estate market in 3 examples. Number 1, areas where people could have a long commute, like suburbs or rural areas, could see lower demand with increases in gas prices. Now it is true that many people, they still have the freedom to work from home, making long commutes not as a big a deal as things in the recent past. However, more and more businesses are bringing back employees, even if it's just on flex schedules a couple times per week, meaning more people are having to budget more for transportation costs. Number 2, as Americans' household budgets continue to tighten, they'll have to become more selective with how and where they spend their money. Savings that may have been set aside for a down payment on a home may now have to be used to help out with monthly costs of living until prices of things like food and fuel come down. Number 3, commercial and industrial real estate. Less disposable income means less spending in stores and online. If you own short-term rentals, hotels, or entertainment venues, people have less money to be able to spend on those vacation and leisure activities. Again, whether commercial, leisure, lowering that demand. Now, as far as something like a crash or any substantial drop in home values, that is still very highly unlikely due to the severity of our current housing shortage. What we are most likely to see is a cooling of demand and a deceleration, not depreciation, of home values nationwide. That is why now more than ever, it is important to work with real estate professionals who understand the whole economic picture and how it relates to you, the buyer, the seller, or the investor. Hopefully you guys found today's content valuable. If you have any questions or would like to set up a real estate or lending consultation to see how we can help assist you, you can send an email to info@elementaryhomes.com. And until next time, keep it simple.